Saturday morning when the break-ins happened, this security camera was not working, but the camera right next to it was, and it actually caught the 3 teens while they were trying to break into the store. Now police need your help to identify them. In Pennsylvania and in New York over the last 2 to 3 years, they've voted in favor of the local communities, unlike what the Ohio Supreme Court did.
KBN 27 First News starts now with breaking news.
Take a close look at this picture. This is 31-year-old Michael Bagnall. Mother Nature is just taking us for a ride on this crazy roller coaster ride that we like to call spring.
That's right.
WKBN 27 First News starts now with breaking news.
Good evening, I'm Matt Horn. We start tonight with breaking news out of Trumbull County. A jackknife semi along Interstate 80 near Route 11 has shut down the freeway in both directions. We're told the Ohio State Highway Patrol says the accident happened around 4:45 this afternoon. Traffic is being redirected to 7-Eleven near Youngstown because of the accident on Interstate 80. You can see traffic backed up there on the left hand of your screen. That's because of that jackknife semi accident. Now we're going to bring you the latest both on air tonight at 10 and 11 and online on our website at WKBN.com.
Matt Horn continues our team coverage live from the scene tonight. Matt?
That's right, Dave and Erica. If you take a look right here, you can see that the road is still closed here on Poland Avenue. You have the road closed sign. You also have the traffic cones out here blocking traffic. And then also businesses over here had been impacted. So from, I guess, Mother Nature, happy Mother's Day?
Exactly. Good way to put it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Alex. Well, the weather is not going to be as good for people down in the Carolinas because they're actually preparing for their first tropical storm of the season. And you know, it's Tropical Storm Anna, and it's the earliest storm to form since 2003. Pretty early in the year. Like a roller coaster, start off at the top, go down, and back right back up.
Yep, always changing.
Exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you, Alex. Well, that's it for First News at 6. Thanks for making Channel 27 your choice for news. We'll see you back here tonight at 11. Have a great evening, everybody, and stay safe. That's right, Dave. He definitely didn't talk about the possibility of running for president. It was definitely all focusing here in Ohio and on the Buckeye State. If you take a look behind me, though, you can see it's pretty empty in here right now. Earlier tonight, though, that wasn't the case. It was a packed house. There were about 1,259 people in here, to be exact, for the people who were out here to hear the governor's State of the State address here in Wilmington. Now, flashing lights and orange cones block off parts of Poland Avenue after a massive chlorine leak.
We found out about it from seeing police cars rushing down the street.
We were looking out the window, we were looking out the doors there and saying, what the heck's going on out here?
Workers at P&L Precision Grinding on Youngstown's south side were on high alert after the leak. And with the possibility of an evacuation this morning and afternoon, workers used their noses to keep themselves safe.
If you could smell something in the air, or it might be like a hint of something. I haven't smelled anything personally.
Next door to P&L Precision Grinding,
We're very worried about our employees.
managers at Ziegler Tires say the road closures have had a major impact on today's business. In a normal day, the tire company does upwards of $25,000 in sales. Manager Stan Golub Jr. says today's business has come to a standstill.
We've had no traffic at all.
The only traffic the business saw included cars and even this semi, who used their parking lot and a driveway across the street to turn around.
I have already sent 2 elderly employees home just for the fear of any risk of getting ill. And businesses like Ziegler Tires right behind me say that they focused a lot more on business outside of the area today instead of what they usually do. But for now, reporting live on Poland Avenue, Matt Horn, WKBN 27 First News. Just after 10 Monday morning,
we needed to evacuate the building immediately.
Management at Exile Corporation got the notice to evacuate all 145 employees after the chlorine leak at the Youngstown wastewater plant, which is right across the street.
As we were evacuating, the smell was much more strong.
In that time, all production came to a complete stop for 21 hours.
Vendors, customers, everybody was called and said, don't come in. Even the roads are closed down.
Creating a huge impact on the company's bottom line.
That's a lot of money.
Exile Corporate's finally had deliveries and shipments again today after yesterday's evacuation. They say they've never had it shut down like they did yesterday in the last 22 years they've been open.
Everybody can look back and say, well, maybe everybody didn't know everything, but everybody got out of here safely within about 20 minutes time.
After the evacuation, VP of Finance and Administration Brenda Oman says the company already has an on-site meeting place if the building needs to be evacuated. But after Monday's off-site evacuation, company leadership says some changes are needed.
Now we will have an off-site place to meet if we have to evacuate again.
Management had one thing to say about employees' quick actions on Monday.
Guys have done a fantastic job. I'm so proud of the employees.
In Youngstown, Matt Horn, WKBN 27 First News.
I'm putting my big mouth out there to see if somebody will listen to, listen to this. This is ridiculous. All of a sudden, they want to go ship us elsewhere.
27 investigates hundreds of pharmacies across Ohio will start turning people away in less than 2 weeks because of major changes to the state Medicaid system. We got tipped off on this story from local lawmakers and frustrated patients. I investigated and got answers for you from the insurance companies and state agencies.
It's just ridiculous. I have a lot of prescriptions that'll just make a hardship for me.
Keith Clark and thousands of Medicaid patients across Ohio will have to go to a new pharmacy to get their prescriptions filled.
My pharmacy is 1 mile away. They want me to go 8 miles away.
The changes are for patients who go through the United Healthcare Managed Medicaid Organizations program. The changes only impact United Healthcare patients. Starting March 1st, at least 800 pharmacies across Ohio will not be able to fill prescriptions under the new network plan. According to the Ohio Pharmacists Association, the Department of Medicaid doesn't have any plans to stop the changes United Healthcare is making. Patients say the move is restrictive and will make it more difficult for those who don't have access to transportation.
They sent me a letter indicating that they are forcing me to choose a different pharmacy, and I don't want to go elsewhere.
In response, United Healthcare sent a statement saying, quote, as part of our ongoing efforts to ensure Medicaid beneficiaries have access to quality pharmacies that offer affordable medications, we are making changes to the network. We are working with those individuals who are affected by the changes to ensure they receive the medications they need, end quote. Senior Vice President of Pharmacy Operations for Hometown Pharmacies, Ron McDermott, says UHC's claim the changes will help with affordable prescriptions doesn't add up.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Medicaid system shove them to a pharmacy that's going to charge them more, or charge the Medicaid system more than what we charge them?
There is a silver lining for patients, though. If they wish to change to another managed Medicaid provider, they can do so through the end of April. State Senator Joe Schiavone says his office has been working to find a solution to help patients, but he's not sure if a solution will come soon enough.
There has to be some way that everybody can get together on this. Now, I'm not sure if there is.
For now, patients across the state are working to find new pharmacies or make changes with their current insurance company.
We want to get our voice heard.
Petitions across the state have been signed and currently are being signed to show patient support behind the 800-plus pharmacies across Ohio.
WKBN 27 First News starts now with breaking news.
We start tonight with breaking news out of Lawrence County. Around 9:45 this evening, police were called to North Greenwood for reports of a shooting. Now, neighbors tell our crew on the scene that the man who lives at the house was shot multiple times. You can see right there in that video. I know it's a little bit dark, but you can see that there are still Newcastle police on the scene. Now, again, the neighbors did tell our crews on the scene that the person who lives at the house was shot multiple times. Now, we're still working to find out exactly what happened and who was injured, and also why the shooting even happened in the first place. And for those latest details, you can get information both on air tomorrow with Amy and Dan starting at 5 o'clock in the morning or online at WKBN.com. Well, we have more breaking news to pass along to you. Boardman police need your help in finding a missing woman, 28-year-old Katrina Lori Walsh. Her husband first reported her missing this past Wednesday, but a police report was just filed yesterday. Officers say people have been looking for the 28-year-old, and the police continue to follow leads in the case. Now, we don't have a picture of her, but here are details about her description. Katrina Lori Walsh is described as being a white female, 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing about 140 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. So far, police say they don't believe that foul play is a factor in the case. Well, shifting gears to weather, it was a beautiful start to the holiday weekend, but the possibility of strong storms may make the start of the work week a little less pleasant. Meteorologist. New developments in a crash that shut down Interstate 80 for several hours this evening. Weather is being blamed for the accident.
Ohio State Highway Patrol says a FedEx tractor trailer was hauling 2 trailers westbound on Interstate 80 and lost control. The truck jackknifed, hit a guardrail and a bridge before stopping. Highway Patrol tells WKBN the driver was trapped in the truck for an hour with leg injuries. Emergency crews had to use the jaws of life to get him out.
He's very lucky. We're lucky that there wasn't any passengers or anyone else in the vehicle when he crashed.
The driver was taken to St. E's with non-life-threatening injuries. Highway Patrol says around 100 gallons of diesel spilled during the crash. The EPA was on scene to contain the spill and clean it up. We're told the driver will be cited with failure to control. Well, for more pictures of the accident from earlier, we have a photo gallery on our website, WKBN.com. Down in Columbiana County, we've learned a 50-year-old man is dead after a single vehicle accident on State Route 7 in Elk Run Township. According to our news partners at the Morning Journal, that accident happened just before 5 o'clock this evening. We're told the driver went off the right side of the road, sideswiped a guardrail, went down an embankment and hit a tree. Alcohol is suspected in the crash. Police in Youngstown also need your help to identify a man who was found along railroad tracks near Waverly Avenue and Imperial Street. A CSX employee found the body of a man around 8 o'clock this morning. Detectives say the victim is a white male in his 20s or 30s with dark hair. He also has a tattoo on his right shoulder that says R.I.P. Papa. If you have any information, call Youngstown Police. New information on a shooting we first brought to you as breaking news during last night's newscast. We've learned that a 15-year-old boy was taken by helicopter to Cleveland Metro Hospitals after he was shot in the head on Ruth Avenue in Warren Township. Police Chief Don Bishop tells WKBN just before 11 last night the uncle was showing off a new 12-gauge shotgun he just got. That's when he pointed the gun at his nephew's head and shot him. Police say the uncle says he did not know the gun was loaded. Chief Bishop tells us the uncle is being cooperative during the investigation. Police are expected to meet with the county prosecutor this week on possible charges.
I'm sure sometime this week we'll meet with him after we formulated everything we've gathered up, and I guess a lot of it will rely on the outcome of what happens with the young boy.
At this time, the teenager remains in very critical condition. The war against heroin had its biggest battle yet, this time in Warren. Hundreds of state and local officials were working together to get drugs off the street. It was all a part of Operation Shield, and it's being called the biggest operation in any Ohio city. It started Friday morning and ended this morning. Now, this is all in response from pleas from the Trumbull County State Representatives and the county sheriff.
Every traffic stop that was made this weekend, which was well over upwards of about 12 or 1,300 traffic stops that were made this weekend, we literally handed out a brochure to each and every traffic stop with help for folks that are addicted to opiates and other drugs of abuse.
And we're told this isn't the first time that there has been a drug sting with help from state and local officials, but like we mentioned earlier, this has been the biggest ever in the state. Well, Trumbull County Bureau Chief Jeff Levcoolidge and photographer Nick Rich had a chance to ride along with officers during Operation Shield. People in the community who say they talked with both Jeff and Nick say they're glad to see such strong actions being taken to get heroin off the streets. During the operation, officers were looking for any violation at all, no matter how small it was. Even though officers were looking for heroin, they found other drugs and people who were wanted for other crimes. People in town say they are glad officers are working to clean up the streets.
You want it to be safe. You want it to be good to where I can get patrons to come in and want to do business without having to be afraid to come here. So.
Authorities say they know that they cannot incarcerate your way out of a drug problem, so those who were arrested for drugs can get treatment for their addiction on the spot, which has never been done before. Well, at the end of the 48-hour blitz, police had arrested a total of 60 people. 48 remain in custody this Mother's Day, with 12 people making bond. Sheriff Altier says the department will have more details on this historic operation tomorrow. Tonight in 27 Investigates, ambulances are supposed to help you in an emergency. Our team of investigators began digging through the Ohio Medical Transportation Board's inspection records, where we found everything from expired drugs
to non-working lights. 27 Investigates reporter Jeff Lev Coolidge brought those concerns to company owners. We're just getting started here on 27 First News at 11. Still ahead, get ready for traffic slowdowns on your Monday morning commute. We'll tell you where the orange barrels will go up to start off your work week. Plus, 3 people are arrested following a deadly police-involved shooting in Mississippi. We'll take you to the scene. But first, here's a live look over downtown Youngstown. Pretty nice evening outside right now, but I've heard that there are some storms that will be moving into the way to start off your work week. Meteorologist Alex George is in the Storm Team 27 Weather Center keeping a close eye on those storms for you. But first, here are some pictures with our crew and our mothers. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. You're watching 27 First News at 11.
If you see news happening, send pictures or video to 27 First News. Just go to WKBN.com or our mobile app and click Report It.